No. Nobody's criticizing Meghan Markle for her fake activism, of which she does none. She's being called out because she's using a royal title to do activism in the United States of America, a country which fought a war to get rid of royalty in their country. Independence Day, does that ring any memories? So it's not how dare she, Meghan Markle. First of all, you don't do any activism. And second of all, if you did it as Rachel Meghan Markle, that would be no problem. But there are rules and regulations for everything in life. Okay? Another 9th podcast. You have to give her credit for that. Hello, beautiful people. I hope I see you in my live tomorrow. Thanks for liking, sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and to leave your comments. Well, we had the 9th misfortune of having another podcast or monologue released by Meghan Markle through Stupefy. In this one, Meghan wants you to understand, no, she really wants you to understand that she is an activist. She's an activist, and that you're blaming her or you're calling her out because, she's an activist who wants to be paid for doing her reality TV show, and they have to create all these fake causes that she has to attend to so she can be an activist. And you don't get to, and you are not appreciating that. How can you not appreciate the fact that she's a fake activist and she's doing a reality TV show for Netflix and she needs to earn millions of dollars so she can keep living like that, like a multimillionaire? Yes. That's basically how far the rabbit hole now. She's trying to claim that people see women who are activists as difficult or as a bully, or how dare she? No, Meghan, how dare you disguise yourself under the rules of activism to bully others? That's the question. And you think we're stupid not to see it. How dare you? How dare you think that we're imbeciles, that we see right through you? You are no activist. You are exploiting a royal title in order to make money, and you're making up all these fake causes so you can really fill it up with some form of content. How dare you have flown to Uvalde? I mean, not even Matthew McConaughey, who is from Uvalde, did that. He didn't take a bunch of hordes of photographers so they can take a picture or videos of him walking around looking at the crosses of the dead children. How dare you? How dare you falsely accuse the royal family, the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth of racism when all they did was embrace you? Meghan Markle has no cause. The only cause that Meghan Markle has is filling money in her bank account. Isn't it ironic that Prince William, His Royal Highness Prince William, the Prince of Wales, is giving away $5 million for people, ordinary people who come up with great ideas to save our planet, to give us hope? While through the, in Boston with the JF Kennedy Foundation, while the Robert RFK Foundation are charging $1 million. Tickets haven't sold to sit next to Meghan Markle, and the tickets start at $2,500. And the chairperson, I don't know what her name is, but she's also daughter of Kennedy. She pays herself $500,000 a year in salary from the foundation. God knows what else she expenses through the foundation. So Meghan wants us to believe that women who are, and you know what? She's such an imbecile, because if anything through history, it has always been women who have done the charitable work, especially in the royal family. I mean, if we have one to go by, it's Princess Diana. The Queen brought over, I think it was 4.2 billion raised in pounds, not dollars, or I think it was more, I don't know if it's 6 billion, for charity. The queen herself. All queens and all, that was their thing, to do charitable work. If you look in the United States, what stigma is there about doing charity if you're a woman? It really comes across that Meghan has nothing to talk about. Basically, she wants to say, this is her podcast, her monologue, for her to say, you know what, they criticize me because I want to do activism, and they say, how dare she? Yes, Meghan, because you're not doing any activism. You're exploiting, you're charging. I don't think she understands the word activism or, or charity. What activism is she doing? What activism has she done? She really hasn't come out and said anything about anything, has she? We don't know who she voted for. We assume it's Democrat, but she hasn't endorsed any candidate. The activism that she wrote to the Senate using a royal title, not as Meghan Markle, but as the Duchess of Sussex, which is illegal because people with foreigners cannot, or anybody with a foreign job title cannot interfere in national politics. Has she done it as Rachel Meghan Markle? That would be a different story, because then she's doing activism as Rachel Meghan Markle. And by the way, that letter had at least 10 lies. She was never forced to work at the age of 13. She never, it was never a treat for her to eat at Sizzlers, to aspire to eat at Sizzlers, the salad bar, because she couldn't afford it. That's a lie. She never suffered any hardship. She never classified herself as a black woman. She lived a very rich, white, privileged life. And I say white, I know black people can also lead very privileged life, but Meghan Markle lived her life as a white person. Okay, so I want people to understand the distinction when I say that Meghan lived a white privileged life, because she herself has said that she did not identify with the black culture. She didn't. Nobody even knew in her own school that she was biracial, from black and white. Even her teachers thought that she was European Italian. Okay, because Meghan was never proactive about disclosing her heritage. So when I say that she lived or she grew up living a white privileged life, it's because she lived in a pretty much all white neighborhood. Right now, where she lives is the place where the least amount of black people, where they live. Maybe Oprah. That's about it. And it's only 8,000 people, and it's 0.001, or it's not even. You cannot fill up a school bus with black people from the neighborhood of where Meghan Markle lives. You can't. You would have at least, you can maybe fill a third of the school bus with the amount of black people living where Meghan Markle lives right now. And why? Because she grew up white. She always was embarrassed of her black heritage. She didn't go to Nigeria looking for her ancestors. She went to Malta looking for her white ancestry. And by the way, that's misleading, because her ancestry is not from Malta. It's white Irish and British. On her father's side, of course, never to Nigeria. You never saw Meghan Markle going to Nigeria, by the way. What activism? The fact that she was cold calling senators, introducing herself as the Duchess of Sussex, for what? To support a bill that's already there, that, it's been there for a long time. This is nothing new, nothing revolutionary. While at the same time, she's registered in Delaware to try to avoid to pay as much taxes as possible. In order for all these activist ideas to come to fruition, they have to come from your taxes. So she registers herself in Delaware, where you can get away with paying very little taxes. One good way to be an activist would be, Meghan Markle, to register all your companies in California, where the tax rate is incredibly high, so you can contribute in that way with your taxes to all these programs that you try to sponsor or that you want to be an activist for, which I still don't know which they are. She utilized the teen suicide just to promote herself. She takes people who are very vulnerable, who are a prey, so she can exploit them to enhance or elevate her stance in the U.S. community. And the reason why she's not popular is because everybody can see right through it. Please tell me if I'm wrong. Can somebody please tell me what activism Meghan Markle has done or charitable work? She wants to charge for her activism. Being an activist, it means that you don't get paid for it, especially when you're in that position. She's trying to say, you're an activist because you're a royal. How dare she? No, you're not a royal. The problem here is not that you're an activist. The problem here is that you're trying to use a royal title, and there are rules and regulations for that, and you're violating that because you're using a royal title to do activism in America, a country that fought to get rid of the monarchy. Okay? And the fact that she's been allowed to get away with it, I'm surprised of the American people. But if she's not allowed to use a royal title to do any form of activism, because royals are supposed to remain neutral, at least in public. Okay? So if she wants to do any activism as Meghan Markle, go ahead. So when she says that she's been criticized for doing activism, she's been criticized for using a royal title, not for doing the activism, which is nothing really. What activism did she do for the children of Uvalde for her photo op? I haven't heard any stance about gun control from her, from Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is allowed to do any activism she wants. The Duchess of Sussex is not. Plain and simple. And by the way, that applies to any person in any job capacity. There are rules. If you work for Microsoft, you cannot be advertising for Apple. You know, if you work for Virgin Airlines, you cannot be advertising for British Airways. I mean, it's common sense. But no. So Meghan, nobody's criticizing you for doing activism. People are criticizing you because you're exploiting a royal title that you yourself have said is from an institution that treated you so badly you wanted to kill yourself. And yet here you still are. You were not even successful at that. It's not that I'm advocating for that, by the way. So don't come at me. I'm just saying that why would you want to be associated or keep using a title from an institution that she claims treated her so badly to do activism? Because she knows that as Meghan Markle, when she knocks at the door of somebody as Meghan Markle, the doors get shut in her face. With the Duchess of Sussex, now maybe not so much. And even then, it's just because of Harry. Please leave me your comments. Let me know what you think.